How's it going, everyone? It's Justin for Stand Bank, and for today's video I'm going to be making my prediction and breakdown of Hermnsson versus Jacare Souza. We also got Mike Perry versus Alex Olivera on this card. It should be an amazing fight night card. It's UFC on espn3, I believe. Really good card. I'm the type that watches the cards from the early prelims to the prelims to the main card, and this fight's pretty stacked from prelims to the main card. We got Jim Miller fighting. We got a really good fight with Court McGee versus Diego Lima. Diego Lima is the brother of Douglas Lima. He had a really good debut in the UFC in his last fight. Should be an exciting fight to look out for. We got Jessica Penne fighting. We got Gilbert Burns fighting Mike Davis. That's a really good fight. Gilbert Burns comes with heat. That's a really good fight to watch. I'm not sure who Mike Davis is. I think he's on a Contender Series. I could be wrong. We got Carlos Esparza on this card, the Cookie Monster. We got Andre Arlovsky fighting Augusto Sakai. That's a really good heavyweight fight right there. We got John Lineker versus Corey Sandhagen. See, this is what I'm saying. This is a really good fight. We got Glover Teixeira versus Alan Cutelaba. I just pretty much read all the fights right here. I'll bring up a picture of the prelims right here, or the fight card, for you guys to see, to get an even better idea. And then the co-main event, which I don't know why they're putting him as a co-main event again. They seen what happened last time on the I can't remember what card it was, the TJ Dillashaw and Cejudo card. I can't remember, but he got it's gonna be Greg Hardy versus Dmitry Smolikov. I don't know who that is, but obviously I know who Greg Hardy is. He's been on the news, especially for his last fight where he did that illegal strike. I'm not surprised they still in the UFC, but I'm surprised they put him in a co-main event slot again. I'm not even gonna break down his fight in this video. So you can hate on me in the comments if you want. I'm not gonna do that. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna be breaking down the Cowboy fight and the main event. I'm skipping the co-main event, like I said, but there's also many fights to look forward to, not just the ones I'm gonna be breaking down. So let's start off with Mike Perry. Obviously, dude, he has some of the craziest power in the welterweight division, let alone the UFC. He always comes on to put on a show, dude. Like he says, motherfuckers gonna bleed, motherfuckers gonna get cut open, somebody might die. Like, he just has that mentality. He just comes for war. And fighting Cowboy, man, it's gonna Cowboy Olivera. This is not Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy Olivera, he's fighting him. It's going to be an exciting matchup. Cowboy comes for war. Alex Olivera always puts on a show also. So this has all the making to be fight of the night. Has fireworks written all over it. When I seen that, I forgot who Alex Olivera was going to fight, but he was going to fight somebody and they pulled out and Mike Perry stepped in. And that made the fight so much more exciting, in my opinion. Like, I was like, oh yeah, let's get it. It hyped me up more. And plus, Perry's from Florida, so it's going to be cracking. Man, Perry throws everything with bad intentions, whether it's in the clinch with the knees, the elbows, or just his hooks, his overhands. He throws shit with bad intentions. And that leads me to his keys to victory. And his keys to victory in this fight is to kind of start off kind of a little slow. He doesn't need to come off all crazy and throwing winging overhands like he kind of does in his recent fights. He should start off slow. Don't chase the knockout. Let the knockout come, and then because if he lands on Olivera, I believe he'll go to sleep. And that's the big thing. Don't chase the knockout. We've seen him when he fought Santiago Ponzinibbio. When he chased the knockout, he noticed Ponzinibbio got hurt. He would run into like a spinning back fist every time. Perry's one of the worst to get hurt by, because he will turn up on you, but it can cost him, and he can get caught slipping when he tries to rush in for the knockout. So don't chase the knockout. Work the knees, elbows, work to the body also for Cowboy, because Cowboy Olivera kind of has a long body, so it's there to get hit. And yeah, just don't chase the knockout. That's the biggest tool for Mike Perry. I feel like if he doesn't chase the knockout and stays like how he is and let the knockout come to him, he's going to do a lot of trouble in the welterweight division. He already has, but then we've seen technical strikers pick him apart and kind of shut down his whole game. So let's go with Cowboy now, Alex Olivera. He also loves to put on a show, dude. He always comes for war. He's put on one of the best fights I've ever seen, period. Him against Yancy Medeiros is one of the best fights I've ever seen, period. One of the best fights I've ever seen live. It was just insane chaos back and forth. I love that fight. if I have a friend over and they don't know about MMA, I turn on that fight. Like, that's one of the fights I turn on because it's just that insane, so exciting. And not a lot of people actually seen that fight because it was on the same card as the Nagano, who was it? Nagano, when he knocked out Overeem, and then Max Holloway was also on that card, and then that amazing fight with Justin Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez was also on the card. So all those crazy fights happened, so it kind of overshadowed the fight with Yancey and Cowboy that happened on the prelims. But insane fight. If you ever seen it, if you haven't seen it, go check it out on YouTube. Look for the clips or highlights. One of the best fights I've ever seen. So it goes to show Alex Oliveira loves that type of fight. He feels comfortable in a war, a dog fight. And it's going to be a little hard because Mike Perry loves a dog fight too. And when somebody has that much power, it's kind of risky to have a dog fight with him to go blow for blow. And like how Mike Perry's, one of his keys to victory, in my opinion, is to not chase the knockout. One of Alex Oliveira's keys to victory in this fight, in my opinion, is to feint and draw out the big shots of Mike Perry, because we've seen that in the past when Joe Ban and Max Griffin a little bit in the early rounds. If they play a technical fight and draw out the big shots from Mike Perry, and then they get him a little gassed and he's winging shots and not really setting stuff up, that's, I believe, it's going to help Alex Oliveira in the long run. He needs to just feint, draw out the big shots of Mike Perry, let him wop, throw his crazy hooks. You know Mike Perry's gonna come out swinging most likely, unless he changes his style. But I don't really see him doing that. So feint, draw out the big shots of Mike Perry, and if you can, don't chase the takedown. But if you can, like if they end up in like a scramble, try to take Mike Perry, because you can choke him out. We've seen him get in his last fight just get tapped out by Cerrone. Man, this is a super tough fight to call. Either fighter could win. Like I won't be surprised if either fighter wins. But that leads me to my prediction. I'm gonna go with Mike Perry via second round knockout. I just think Alex Oliveira's way where he loves to brawl. I think he's gonna end up getting in a brawl with Mike Perry, and that usually doesn't end good. The way to beat Mike Perry is a technical fight, and I see Alex Oliveira getting into a slugfest, and I see him getting caught. So I got Mike Perry via second round knockout or TKO. And that's to the main event of the evening, Jacare Souza versus Jack Hermnsson. Let's start off with Jacare, obviously one of the best grapplers in the UFC or MMA period. And his stand-up's actually really improving. If you see his last fight that's free on YouTube when he fought Chris Weidman at UFC 230, man, he looks so crisp, and he was just landing good shots on Chris. He was even getting tagged, but he was staying in there and landing crisp shots of his own. You could see the improvement in his striking. And then when it got to the third round, you could see, like, he flipped the switch, and that's one thing that's good to see from a fighter. They can stay technical, but then they can flip a switch and go for the finish and come out aggressive. And that's what he did in the third round. It was really impressive against somebody like Chris Weidman. In my opinion, Souza is going to have a grappling advantage. Jack Hermansson likes to grapple. I'll get into that too. So that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, MMA is crazy. Somebody could get hurt and then end up getting choked out. So anything can happen. But I believe Jacare Souza is going to have a grappling advantage. And Souza's key to victory in this fight is to stay crisp like he did in the first couple rounds in the Chris Weidman fight. And he can turn up like he did in the third round if he wants, but don't do that constantly. Kind of stay crisp with the boxing, and then eventually look for the submission if Jack Hermansson gives it up, or he does something like he throws a naked leg kick or something, take him down, and I believe the submission will be there. Now on to Jack Hermansson. He has really good grappling and BJJ like Souza, but I just believe Souza's that couple notches above him. He has finished high-level grapplers too, like David Branch, so that's really good to see. You know what I mean? David Branch is a really good grappler, not necessarily the best, or Jacare Souza's level, but he's a pretty up there. He's no slouch at all. So to have a good win over him, especially in submitting him, it's impressive. And he has good stand-up. We've seen him get some TKO finishes on the feet. He's pretty good with his hands, but he feels most comfortable when he's grappling. And since he feels most comfortable with grappling, I feel like he's eventually gonna try to take it there. And I gonna be hard for him because that's where Souza feels more comfortable. So his keys to victory is to stay on the feet, avoid the grappling transition as most as possible, because that's when Souza's gonna have his most success. And that leads me to my prediction. I got Jacare Souza via third round submission. I think eventually Jacare is gonna find him. Jack Hermnsson is gonna make a mistake in the grappling department, and Souza will get it by third round submission. Alright, thank you guys for watching the live prediction for UFC on ESPN 3. You're a real one for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Later.
Those punches are very hard. Getting the hands going here early. Now he touches him with the left. Whoa! That's it. It's all to do it. Wow. What a knockout. And here's the end of the fight. Let's see if we can get a better look at that from this angle. And here we see it again. Boom.